It's pretty ironic that I'm making a video about mobility and flexibility, yet I'm not even consistent with it. What I need to start doing is every day so I don't deal with these health issues. What's up everyone? David here. Got a new video for y'all today. But before we get into it, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you don't miss on any new videos. Because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So don't miss out. Now today we're gonna be talking about probably the most overlooked aspect when it comes to making gains. Now, I don't care what your gains may be, whether it be building muscle, building strength, losing fat, any facet of fitness, you have to make sure you're on top of your recovery. I'm talking about make sure you're getting enough rest, make sure the muscles are healing the way they should. What people don't understand is, no, if you push harder in the gym and just go, all gas, no brakes, that will not always make you more gains. What you gotta understand is you're only gonna see as many results and you're only gonna be able to push yourself as hard as your body is able to recover from the workouts. Recovery is key. You can push as hard as you want in the gym. You can eat as healthy as you can in the kitchen. But if you're not recovering properly from workout to workout, if you're still waking up sore every day, everything hurts, you're feeling tired, you're feeling sleepy, you're not gonna be seeing the results that you want. Those are pretty good signs that you're being overtrained, and in turn, eventually, something bad is gonna happen. All right, it starts off as being just a little extra sore, more than usual, then feeling a little more tired, and then next thing you know, boom, you'll tear a muscle, you'll have some type of injury. We have to prioritize the recovery. One of the best ways that you can do it is by stretching. Now, me, honestly, I remember when I first started working out, I would always finish off every single workout. It doesn't matter what body part it is that I'm training, whether it be a leg day, arm day, chest, back, push, pull, whatever it is. I would always finish off every single workout with a full body stretch. So even if it's leg day, I'm still gonna be stretching the legs and the upper body. If it's just a chest day, I'm still gonna be stretching out my legs. Every single muscle, I would always do a full body stretching routine at the end of the workout. It only took relatively 10 to 15 minutes, just depending on what I'm doing. But I remember I was much more flexible, much more mobile, and I just felt a lot healthier. I'm telling you, if you feel stiff, if you feel tight, it's probably a good indication that you're not prioritizing that flexibility and mobility work. Now, so I used to stretch pretty consistently at the end of every workout. But you know, as we grow up, go to college, class load gets a little heavier, and then you graduate, then you go into the full-time workforce and everything. You know, you only have so much time to work out. I still made sure I prioritize lifting weights, still prioritize my cardio, but you know, you only have so much time as your responsibilities start to grow. So what's the easiest thing that I cut out? It was the mobility and the flexibility, the stretching essentially. Now, I do stretch from time to time, but it's not as much as it should be. And I'm starting to feel like it's getting to that point where I'm starting to feel the effects of not doing it as often as I could. I've noticed now lately when I squat, my heels are coming off a little off the ground. When I try to get my arms all the way across back here, you see, like they don't go all the way back like this the way they used to. So I sometimes have to like spend extra time warming up to make sure I can get under a squat. You know, when I bench press the next day, my shoulders, you know, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm feeling the effects of not being as consistent with this, the stretching, the mobility work, the flexibility work. So going forward, I'm gonna make an attempt to go back to the way things used to be, stretching twice per day. One at the end of my weight workout, whether it be an arm day, leg day, chest, back, whatever it is, at the end of the workout, full body stretching. And I'm gonna go above and beyond, and I'm gonna try to stretch again at the end of the day, because I'm spending the whole day in an office, you know, typing up, answering emails, answering phone calls, whatever it is. You know, we get stiff, we get tight. All right, let's stretch one more time at the end of the day. So today, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what is my full body stretch routine. This is exactly what I do, muscle for muscle, stretch for stretch, and I'm gonna be giving my reasoning behind each one, why I do it, and how long, and how you should go about it. So let's get into it. I like to start from the floor and make my way up, but realistically, you can go in any order that you want. But I always start off with the calf stretch down on the ground with your knee locked out. We're stretching out the big ball of the calf. Some people, you know, they like to do it like the old school style where we did it like in PE, this one, remember, where, you know, you lean, bend the front knee. I like to do it standing up with my foot up against a wall, but I actually do it right here on a weight plate, because the weight plate is slightly angled compared to just doing it to a wall that's completely upright. So at least my foot can fall and rest completely on the weight plate or the slanted surface. Straight knee, lean into it as much as you can, and then boom, hold it for 30 seconds each leg. Afterwards, continue my way up, grab whatever it is that you need for balance, hold, pull the quad back. Now make sure that when you do these though, you don't lean this way, all right? Don't be opening up the knees. Nah, keep them close together, pull straight back. Again, 30 seconds one side, and then 30 seconds with the other side. Afterwards, I move on to hamstrings. Now, this one's gonna be a little different because some people, they have, you know, certain preferences for, you know, doing this one. Nah, that's perfectly fine. For me, I start off with my knees together, bend over, try to reach my toes. Now, the closer your legs are together, when you go down and try to stretch out those hammies, you're gonna feel it right here on the outer part of the hamstring. So we have our hammies right here. You know, it's the entire muscle in the back of your thigh. You're gonna feel it more right here on the outer portion, which is perfectly fine. I'm trying to hit all portions of the hamstring. But when I do that for 30 seconds, I then switch over to now a wide stance, and then I go down and again, hold it for 30 seconds. Now, when I do it with the wide stance, I go from outside to now a little bit more of the inner thigh, or I should say the inner hamstring. If you want to go ahead and, you know, you don't have that much time, you know, we can't be doing so many different stretches for the same muscle group, you can just go ahead and hit it with this. This will hit it pretty evenly, but same concept. If you want to feel a little bit more on the outer part or inner part, you could always turn your leg out more one way or turn it a little bit more the other way. And since we're speaking about turning more the other way, eventually you're gonna get to the point where if you turn more and more, you start feeling it on your inner thigh. And the way I go about stretching my inner thighs, which are right here, the adductors, adductors, is we go from this last stretch, which I said, legs apart, reach down the middle, feeling the back of the hamstring, bend one knee, and then come down this way. Now, when I come down, my heel does come off the ground. Some people feel like they have to keep their foot flat. No, 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 get the heel off the ground. Again, this is just the way I personally like to go about it. And I'm using this elbow to push my knee outwards. I feel the stretch. I'm mainly prioritizing this side. Yes, I still feel a little bit of a stretch on this one, but my main emphasis by doing this is I'm using this knee to push out here. That foot, some people, you know, you can go about it with your toe pointed forward. Me, naturally, just because, you know, mobility issues, it points upwards. You know, for me, I'm not too concerned about that because once I hit one side, I'm gonna go ahead, flip it over, and now I got that side. And then same thing, now I'm feeling the emphasis right here on the other leg, this inner thigh. Once we move on from there, now we're starting to hit more of just the general hip region, all the muscles that tie into the hips. I'm telling you, many of you, if you work office jobs, you go into the classroom, you know, you're studying all day, you're pretty much being seated for long periods of times, your hips will be tight. There's just so many different muscle groups that tie into this joint. This is why our hips allow us to move in any direction. Our legs can move in any circular motion because we got the muscles that allow us to move upwards, the muscles allow us to move back, out, in any direction we want. So many different muscle groups. So let's go ahead and stretch them in every different direction. So right here, we already covered the adductors. So now let's move on. We're gonna go this way from the inner thigh all the way around. Right here, one knee up, one knee down, and then lean forward. If you sit for a long period of time, this is the stretch you want to go with right here. This is right here will stretch out your hip flexor. Whatever knee is down, that's when you want to go. Now, don't make the mistake where your shoulders lean forward like this. No, no, no. Shoulders back. It's your hips. You're thrusting forward, pushing that hip as forward as you can, as much as you can. Right there. Hold it, and then go ahead and switch. Same thing for the other side. When you go though, try to make sure that that front leg, you're not really emphasizing pushing that knee forward because that's not the emphasis. The main priority here is pushing the hips. Again, we're really focusing on the hip joint. So I go ahead, hit both sides. Now, once on the ground, I go about stretching out the outer part right here, the glute medius, or, you know, the outer hips, however you want to refer to it as. Grab one leg, I cross it over, and then whatever leg I put on top, so in this case, my right leg, I'm gonna switch it over, twist to the right. Again, relying on those elbows. I'm gonna use my elbow to push this knee even more. Since I crossed my leg over to the left, I'm gonna really try to drive that knee over to the left with my elbow, and then right there, I feel the stretch all along right here in my hip. Hold it for time, and then switch, same thing for the other side. And then last one, remember we started from the inner thigh and we're working our way outwards. Last one in the back, glutes. Light down, and then from right here, let's go ahead and pull that knee up. Now make sure when you pull your knee, you're not overdoing it. You don't want to pull it so much to the point where, look at my other leg. Look at this one.
if I start pulling more and more, I'm just dragging my other leg, and then sooner or later, it's like my lower back. No, just enough to feel stretch in that muscle group. Again, we're prioritizing the glutes. Hold it, and then switch over on to the other side.
Now, that pretty much sums up lower body, which for most people, that's probably gonna be the tighter muscle groups, especially as we start getting closer to the hip region, but we wanna continue up. It doesn't matter if I'm doing leg day. Afterwards, it makes sense to stretch out the legs as I just did, but I'm gonna continue to carry it on to the full body. Stretch every single muscle group. Your body is one connected chain. We got one little falter, one little mishap here in this area. You never know where it could carry on to other areas. So let's even everything out. Since we're already on the ground, flip it over, stomach side down. I'm gonna stretch out those abs. Now, this one is one of those ones where I find a little questionable, mainly because so many people, they do it wrong, or they say they don't feel the stretch, or they feel some type of pain. Here's the way I want you to go about it. And again, the whole emphasis is stretching out the ab muscles right here. I only have to go up to here on my elbows. Some people, they go on their hands and then they shoot themselves all the way up. No. You only have to go high enough to the point where you feel the stretch in your abs. Now, if you go too high up and your hips start coming off the ground, well, at that point, you feel the need to maybe start flexing your abs, and pretty much you're just holding like a push-up position, like on your knees right here. No, but also, if you start going up too high and your lower back starts to hurt, you're probably pinching something back there. You're going too much. So again, just enough to feel the stretch in those abs. Like I said, for me, right here, that's perfectly fine on my elbows. Nothing wrong with that. Continuing to move back up onto our feet. Now we're hitting the upper torso, which we're really looking at the pecs, the traps, and our back, specifically those lats, the big muscles right here on the side of our body. For this one, you will need some type of upright. So whether it be a squat rack, some type of pole, anything that's just standing up that you can grab onto, you're gonna reach it up pretty high up, and then from right here, just fall down into it. Look at my arm is stretched out directly over me. It's almost as if you're trying to reach your hands over your head, but something's pulling on you even more so to feel the stretch all alongside right here on your back. So again, grabbing, letting myself sink. And if you want an even deeper stretch, whatever arm is up, in this case right now, I got my right arm because I'm stretching on my right side, twist your torso over to the right. Oh, you'll feel the stretch go a lot deeper, a lot lower. Hold it for one side, same thing for the other. Now that's for our back. Front side, chest. What do you all do at work? You're like this, typing up emails, writing stuff down all day. What do? We're on our phone. All right, we gotta address that right here. We're gonna go ahead and stretch out those pecs, one side, and then to the other. And then the last stretch I realistically do, it's gonna be for right here. It's gonna be those traps. Tilt the head down one way, reach across, gently pull, feel it on the side of my neck, feel it on my traps. Now, there's additional stretches that I do for my shoulders. I did say earlier that I do have some issues now reaching behind, but realistically, that's for me. I personally have to open up my chest a little bit more. As far as the mobility for the shoulder here, that's more of through strengthening exercises. Like I grab a band, I do these. I never really stretch out my biceps, triceps, or forearms because I don't really feel the need to. You know, those don't typically get as tight as other muscle groups, or they don't cause any postural issues the way other muscle groups would. But if you feel the need to, go for it. Again, this is just my personal stretching routine. If I ever need to stretch into my arms, most likely it will probably be my forearms or my wrists, and I'll just do something as simple as this. Hold for one side and then for the other. But other than that, that pretty much sums up my whole full body stretching routine. Again, it's nothing too crazy. I hold each stretch for a minimum of 30 seconds. Now, it's not from the moment I start pulling on the muscle that I start counting 30. No. I get in position, I feel the full stretch, and then finally, once I feel like I reach that spot where it's maximally stretched, obviously you don't want to overdo it because you don't want to cause injury, but once you get to this point, then start counting 30 seconds. So that pretty much sums it up. Again, nothing too crazy. Just do what you can. But again, recovery, important. You want to see more results? Go ahead and prioritize that recovery, whether it be getting better sleep, ice tub, sauna, stretching the way I just did right now. Again, you will only make as much gains as your body's ability to recover. And stretching can be one of the best ways for you to recover. It's free, it costs nothing. Just add a little 5 to 10 minute stretching routine at the end of each workout and you'll be fine. And do it every day. It's not like working out with weights where you can only do it so many days in a row before you feel burnt out. No, stretching, you can do every single day. You can do it multiple times a day, and I guarantee it will really help you out. It will really boost the amount of results that you're gonna be getting in the gym, and just overall improve your overall health. You're gonna feel so much better. You're not so tight, you're not so stiff, you're gonna feel a lot looser. So comment down below if you enjoyed this video. Also, comment down below any other video suggestions you'd like to see me do, whether it be about mindset, motivation, nutrition, diets, workouts, programs, whatever it is, comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help y'all out. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any new videos, because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so don't miss out. And Instagram and TikTok, same thing. Be sure to follow me on both accounts. I put all my links down in the description below. With that being said, I'll catch y'all next time.